Long before phones, radios, and the terrifying phrase, "your message has been left on read," humans recruited pigeons to deliver information. But trainers didn't simply hand a pigeon a letter, point toward another city and say, "Good luck, Gerald." Messenger pigeons were specially bred homing pigeons with a powerful instinct to return to their home loft. That meant the service was usually one way. If you wanted to send a message from the battlefield back to headquarters, you first had to transport headquarters pigeons to the battlefield. When released, they flew home carrying tiny messages, basically feathered email with no spam folder. Scientists believe pigeons navigate using several sources of information, including the sun, familiar landmarks, odors, and possibly Earth's magnetic field. Humans didn't create this navigation ability. Training helped pigeons use it reliably. Young birds first became deeply familiar with their home loft, where they found food, safety, and other pigeons. Trainers then released them a short distance away. When the birds successfully returned, they received food in the comfort of home. Over time, the release distance gradually increased, from nearby locations to journeys covering many miles. This process demonstrates a psychological principle called shaping, teaching a complicated behavior by rewarding smaller successful steps. You don't begin by releasing Kevin the pigeon 200 miles away and yelling, "Believe in yourself." You begin nearby, reward success, and slowly make the challenge harder. Food acted as positive reinforcement. When returning home produced something desirable, returning became a stronger and more dependable behavior. Trainers also use consistent sounds, feeding times and routines. A whistle or call could become associated with food through classical conditioning. Eventually, the sound itself told the pigeons, "Attention, employees, the seed buffet is now open." Repetition created habits, while gradual exposure helped birds become accustomed to unfamiliar terrain, bad weather, loud noises, and even flying over water. During one American military experiment, pigeons initially appeared nervous when released over a large body of water, but repeated, progressively more difficult flights reduced that reaction. In psychological terms, experience made the unfamiliar situation less frightening and improved performance. Homing pigeons became especially valuable during the World Wars because artillery could destroy telephone wires. Radios could fail, and human messengers could be captured. A pigeon required no battery, no signal bars, and absolutely no password reset. The United States Army Signal Corps established its pigeon program during World War I and continued using pigeons through World War II and the Korean War. Their service ended in 1957 as electronic communication became more dependable, presumably after the pigeons received extremely small retirement watches. Then psychologist B.F. Skinner looked at these birds and thought, yes, they deliver messages, but could they guide a missile? During World War II, Skinner developed Project Pigeon. Birds were trained to recognize an image of a military target and peck at it on a screen. If the target moved away from the center, the pigeon followed it with its beak. A control mechanism could translate those pecks into steering corrections. One prototype placed 3 pigeons in separate compartments inside a missile's nose cone, giving humanity perhaps its strangest navigation committee. The psychology was operant conditioning. Behavior followed by a rewarding consequence becomes more likely. Skinner first rewarded pigeons for looking toward the target, then approaching it, touching it, and finally pecking it repeatedly. This was shaping again. Tiny steps building toward a surprisingly complex performance. The birds also learned stimulus discrimination. Peck the target, not every random shape appearing on the screen. Project Pigeon was never deployed as a weapon, but the experiments demonstrated how reliably behavior could be influenced through immediate feedback, repetition, and carefully arranged rewards. The same basic principles appear today in animal training, classrooms, workplaces, fitness apps, and video games. Complete the desired action, receive a reward, and your brain says, "Interesting. Perhaps we should do that again." Of course, humans are more complicated than pigeons. Sometimes we complete the action, receive no reward, and get invited to another meeting. The real lesson is that pigeon training combined natural ability with psychological learning. Their instinct provided the destination, while gradual practice, reinforcement, routine, and exposure made the journey